Yeah, we're going to bully her, Jake. If we have to, for her own good, whether she likes it or not, if we have to grab her phone and hack into her iPass Cloud Tune thing and delete it, we will delete one song by the end of February. One song. What was yesterday's song? Do you remember?
Yesterday's song was Come Through. Summer Rocker.
Yes.
Featuring Usher.
All right, what was today's? We're a little early. Wait. No, we're not. What was today's?
You can't add a song to your list today.
Why not?
Because I had to finish the Rachael Kirkconnell episode of Call Her Daddy on my way in because it was like an hour 45 podcast.
Who was this woman?
The woman who ended up with Matt James, The Bachelor, but now they are broken up, and it's the biggest scandal in pop culture over the last 2 weeks.
Wait, so when last I heard about these two,
I'm gonna tell you the whole thing.
You're gonna tell me, but when last I heard, she had done something maybe racist.
Yeah, so
and
you haven't caught up.
Matt had fake broke
ago.
up with her and then got back with her because I remember Megan saying, "Yeah, this isn't real."
That was like 5 years ago.
Do we need to call Megan?
Oh, Megan would have been fun to bring on this conversation. I know. I texted you, CJ, this morning. I was like, please remind me. Because I thought that this was the one season of The Bachelor that you
I watched this one and then the one with the chick who popped out of the limousine with the toy. Remember I got in trouble for calling her Double D?
Yeah.
So I watched part of that one.
But you did watch the Matt James season.
Yes.
Which is so good because you have a baseline of knowledge. This is what all the girls are talking about today.
Are they?
There's already close to 900,000 views on the YouTube video of Call Her Daddy, and that doesn't include the people who listen to it on Spotify. Last night at 8 p.m.
Oh.
I almost stayed up to watch it.
Get your aunts, your grandmothers.
Those women viewers.
Get those women in, man. In fact, log out of your YouTube, have them log into theirs. We got to get better women numbers.
We got to get the women on.
We got to get women back.
There's got to be some of you out there.
There's got to be.
Get women back.
Or get back women. I don't know. We'll workshop it. But so it's all the rage for the women.
So I had to finish it on the way in so that I'd be prepared to talk to you.
The new Bachelor. I think he's handsome.
Have not watched a single second.
You hadn't seen a commercial?
You know what? He actually popped up on my TikTok, yes. And you are correct. What's up, everybody? It is a Wednesday, January 29th. It is going to be a good day. Coming up on today's show, a week from the NBA trade deadline, and a new name has entered the mix. WNBA free agency continues to be crazy. We'll do some Oops, We Missed It Again, stories from the week we haven't gotten to. It has been a wild week of college basketball that includes a coach returning to work 7 days after having a baby, a brawl at the VCU St. Louis game last night, puking on the court, and not fouling up three. We will get into all of that, plus all the wild stuff Jerry Jones said in the Brian Schottenheimer presser from earlier this week. DeAngelo Williams will join us about 40 minutes in. We never know what we will chat with DeAngelo about. We will do story time. We will do WTF. And the biggest story in girl world is the breakup of former Bachelor Matt James and Rachael Kirkconnell. Rachael Kirkconnell went on the Call Her Daddy podcast. It dropped last night. I listened to it all, so you don't have to. I'll tell you what you need to know. You know what we say. Never believe what you see on social media. It's not catchy, but it's true. Never believe what you see on social media.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Memphis Cat is back with his Heaven on Earth tour.
I tried to be incognito, but thanks to Shannon Sharp's loud mouth, the gig is up.
February 22nd in the FedEx Forum.
In my spare time, I infiltrate the Illuminati, look for their secrets, run back, tell y'all.
Don't miss this year's most talked about comedy icon live. He's back with brand new material, an unmatched wit, and an electrifying performance. Get tickets at Ticketmaster.com.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance, to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard, bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Is Hulkamania officially dead?
Yes.
When you have over 17,000 people live and you have Netflix premiere the biggest day in WWE history, and meanwhile they boo him out of the building?
Hulk Hogan, I'm coming for you.
That is your core audience, and they don't want it.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own the day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out, ay. Let's have a little fun now. Ay. I wanna let it all out. Ay. That's what it's all about. Ay. Ay. Cause I deserve this feeling, having my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media Studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Very important order of business to start the show because CJ was trying to do this off the air, but I will not let him do this off the air with Jacob. I need the camera to be on CJ.
Hit it on me.
He is going to do a motion, and I need the world.
Is it on me?
All 100 of you.
Is it on me?
It's on you. Okay, that is not what you did. That is a little more ambiguous than what you did.
What did I do?
I'm standing up.
What did I do?
Let me set the stage here. Let me set the scene. I was finishing up. CJ had his very important meeting yesterday at 9:30, which he made everybody aware of throughout the entire show. We had to get out at 9:30. Could not talk anymore about The Pit, which I did watch the 8 o'clock window of The Pit, and it is indeed, every episode is an hour in the emergency room. Please watch The Pit with me. I am begging of you. Back to that later. I walk out of the studio. CJ is in the meeting room. We'll call it that. It's where the meetings happen of the Grind City Media world.
I'm in the room where it happens.
CJ's in the room. Where it happens. I walk in, and this is what I see.
No, the hand is not going up.
It is.
I know the hand is not going up.
Like this.
The hand is not going up.
The hand is going up.
I know it's not.
The hand is going up.
It's this.
No, it's this. And if anything, it's to the side. If anything, it's to the side. I'll give you maybe to the side. Maybe to the side. When this is brought up in a court of law.
We got cameras in there.
Fine, we've got cameras.
We can get the cameras.
Roll them back. Anyway, I think CJ is saying, come over here, implying that suddenly this 9:30 meeting he had to be in was important for me to also be in. And next thing I knew, I was stuck in a cybersecurity meeting for a half hour. So CJ, thank you for making sure that I will not be clicking on any phishing links for the foreseeable future.
You're welcome.
I'm going to get You know what, though? They taught us about VPNs.
Yes.
VPN is one of those things I hear often, but I actually don't really, because we work in the sports media space where we don't have to know big business terms, and so people will talk about VPNs, and I'm like, yeah, sure, totally. I totally understand what that is. We learned about VPNs, and then on the Call Her Daddy podcast with Rachael Kirkconnell, broken up with Matt James from The Bachelor, which we will talk about later in the show, she mentions a VPN. And I was like, I know what that is now, thanks to CJ making me sit in a cybersecurity meeting for 30 minutes.
You do this thing where it's a meeting where it's just the producers and the social team and nobody else.
Yes.
And you do this thing where you come in there.
Yeah, because I have a meeting at 10 a.m. on Tuesday, so I have nowhere to go. That's my office.
You try and hang up. Well, go to your desk. No, you come in there and you sit in our meeting. It's like, why is only one host here? It's weird. So before you could do that, I was just trying to let you know.
I'm sorry that I go above and beyond.
Subtly.
I see no difference between the hosts and the producers and the social media. We are one team.
Oh, well, then you're a maniac.
Sorry.
There's a complete and total difference. This shit is not positionless. We very much have positions up here.
Kip asked why I didn't just get up and leave. Eventually I did. It took me a half hour. I had another meeting, so I had an excuse. I was like, oops, sorry, gotta bounce. But in the meantime, I didn't want to be rude. They were presenting important information.
Yeah.
And there were only, it's not like a room of 30 people where I can just slink on out. I can't Irish exit.
You're going to have to sit through it again now?
I had already sat through the version they sent a link one that I already actively participated in.
They are so focused and determined to make sure, because we are clicking on things we should not be clicking on.
Right.
We are searching things.
I am searching lyrics to Fat, Juicy, and Wet by Bruno Mars on my work computer.
They brought it up in the chat. On my work computer, I pulled up a couple of Reddit stories about certain things. I know they're like, hey, we need to meet with these people in particular. They do not want us clicking on or going to shady sites on the work computer.
Anyway, just so future reference, this, you got to be a little more like a shoe, like shoe fly.
No, because then you'd be like, oh, the hand is coming back. The hand goes out.
No.
Then you'd be like, oh, the hand comes back.
You know what?
Out, back.
Out.
Just
flick.
And keep it there.
Out.
Y'all stop
Follow
it.
through.
Stop it too soon.
You always have to follow through.
Senior knows what I'm trying to. It might be just a family thing because I had a meeting with a friend of mine, a little lunch meeting with a friend of mine to talk about some important things yesterday, and I did it to her. I was like, "Yo, what's this mean?" She's like, "I don't know." I'd probably come over there and say, "Hey, what you're doing?" It's like,
oh, thank you. Oh my God. Please add her to the witness list.
What are y'all
when our
doing?
phones are taken in the next great cyber hack.
What are y'all doing?
That was my favorite part. They're like, if we have to take your phone someday because you're doing company business on your phone. And I was like, oh, the CJ Jessica Jacob group text will be a fun piece of discovery.
But wait. Because we're all in multiple group texts.
Of course.
That one's not top 5 worst. Like I'd want that one to get out. If you say, hey,
please take
we're gonna have to go through one of these group chains. Like, yes, take that one. Can't have the family one going. Sister lost her Pell Grant money, so now she's gonna get kicked out of school. So there's a lot of interesting things said in that one.
Oh, great.
Because of the pause on the federal aid.
Yeah.
So a lot of interesting things being said, and might be some people in my family. I'm not gonna say who. If they got to that text thread, might be put on a watch list or two.
They're already on it. Our data's everywhere. Don't worry about it.
Probably. I got one with some friends of mine from
you don't
high
have to
school.
I'm going to pause you. You don't have to incriminate yourself right now.
No,
right now, we're fine. We're not clicking on the phishing links. Thanks to you using ambiguous hand signals. We are of equal knowledge on what not to do when it comes to cybersecurity.
If you must go through this phone, I recommend you don't. But if you must, the safest one is the Jessica thing, because it gets wild in this phone.
Oh, good to know. Yeah. What did you get into last night?
I watched the Tennessee Volunteers miss 33 effing threes.
Oh.
That's what I did.
33?
30. They were 11 for 45 and kept shooting? So they might have missed 34 threes, I think, because they took one at the end of the game when the game was decided. Kentucky on the road. Played well without their starting point guard. Tennessee's first home loss, I do believe. Kentucky got up pretty, not big, but it looked like they were in control in the first half to start. Tennessee comes roaring back, takes a 3-point lead in the second half. Second half ends up popping off. Ziegler thought he was done. Thought his career was over.
I saw tweets on the timeline that he was dead. Yeah, and then he came back to life.
It looked like his knee hyperextended. So he runs back to the locker room. He comes back out at halftime. The crowd is going crazy. Tennessee up 3. And then Ziegler and the rest of the Volunteers proceed to miss 30-something damn threes. And they kept shooting them. It was awful to sit there and watch for a Vols fan. I'm texting Robbie as the game is going on. I was like, yo, what's going on? Why can you guys not make a shot? And why do you keep taking said shots that you clearly can't make tonight? So I saw some college basketball. I was like, oh, I wonder what NBA game is on.
I watched half a quarter of Lakers Sixers. You want to know why I turned it on?
Why?
Because I saw that Bronny James was playing meaningful minutes in Lakers Sixers, and I was like, ooh, intrigued. We were trying this thing. Our TV was off. Ooh. And no music. Ooh. Just silent. Like we were cooking in silence.
Ooh.
It was a little weird. We're talking to each other.
No.
Like fully non-distracted conversations about, important things in the world and life. And then I saw, because I can't stay off my phone, someone was like, oh my God, Bronny James meaningful minutes. I said, flip. Let me turn on TNT. Let me watch Lakers Sixers. Why? I don't know, sheer curiosity. There'd been all this talk about how good Bronny James has been in the G League as of late and talks about that he's been playing really well in practice. And then I proceeded to watch him get absolutely cooked by Tyrese Maxey in the pick and roll. And then he went 0 of 5 shooting. And at this point, his NBA career shooting percentage is around, I think, 6%. I think we're right around 6%, had 3 turnovers. Did not go well for
he should transfer
Bronny
to
James
Tennessee.
last
He
night.
could help them out.
He could.
He could miss a bunch of threes.
He could
That's
be
what they
right
look
in
like
there.
they're doing. Tennessee is like number 6 in the nation, 7 in the nation with 4 losses, all in conference. I think is incredible. It's just weird. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The Lakers lost, and Anthony Davis got hurt, which feels important.
Oh, that's
if there was any
important.
hope for the Lakers
That's
to climb out of the dwells of the Western Conference. And it's one of those injuries I saw, like depending on it's a abdominal strain, and depending on the grade, it could be 3 to 7 days, or it could be 4 to 6 weeks. So
go ahead and bank on the 4 to 6 weeks. Go ahead and bank on
a difference. But I did like watching Bronny James struggle after he has been as good as he's been in the G League was just another reminder. The gap between the G League and the NBA is huge, which is crazy because the gap between a bunch of dudes who play really good college basketball and having a sustained career in the G League is huge.
Yeah.
And then the gap between the best high school players and those who play high-level college basketball, like every level just gets harder and harder and weeds out further and further. And just the difficulty measures of becoming a professional athlete in this sport, even if your last name is James and your father is LeBron and he's on the court with you, it cannot mask the sheer difficulty level difference between being able to dominate in the G League and then coming up and trying to play meaningful minutes in the NBA. Anyway, Lakers lost that game. I did not watch the entirety of it, just a small splash in the midst. Bronny James, not a rising star, but 2 Memphis Grizzlies are. Make it 1, make it 2. Jaylen Wells and Zach Edey being named to the Rising Stars Challenge at the upcoming NBA All-Star Weekend in San Francisco. Fun to see both Edey and Wells rewarded for their success. Among the rookies, Bub Carrington, Stephon Castle, Tristan Da Silva, Dalton Connect, Jared McCain, Yves Missy, Zachary Risacher, and Alex Sarr. Was bummed to realize that we will not get peak Jared McCain TikTok form at All-Star Weekend as he continues to deal with his injury. The sophomore list is Bilal Coulibaly, Grady Dick, CJ's favorite player, Keontae George, Scoot Henderson, Trace Jackson Davis, Jaime Jaquez Jr., Derek Lively, Brandon Miller, Amen Thompson, who we will see tomorrow when the Rockets are here to face the Grizzlies.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen him finish in somebody's face.
Kaysen Wallace and Victor Wembanyama.
Does that say Kaysen or Carson?
Kaysen.
Okay.
It's Kaysen Wallace.
All right.
On the Thunder.
Okay.
Oh, does it?
Does it say Carson?
Wow. Yeah. Disrespect.
Yeah. Can we get back on Dick?
Sure.
He's been
have
dominant.
anything to add?
He's been dominant. He has. Dick is a true force.
It's a very good sophomore list.
Very good.
Headlined by the D. And by that, I mean the defensive prowess of all those sophomores really have taken leaps from their rookie season into their defensive opportunities this next year.
A lot of Ds have taken a lot of impressive leaps, none more so than Dick.
We didn't talk about it, but Mac McClung is the 4th person who will be participating in the dunk contest, which was a bit of a bummer that Jay Huff did not. We didn't start the pressure early enough. Like Lang and I talked about it on the show on Friday, get Jay Huff in the dunk contest. Then Jay Huff at practice that day was asked about it, and he said if he received a call, he would participate in the dunk contest. I don't think we put the pressure on early enough. We needed to campaign. These things do not happen organically. Just look at Timothée Chalamet trying to win an Oscar for Best Actor playing Bob Dylan. He is everywhere. We needed more Jay Huff. We needed to flood the timeline. We needed to recruit all of Japan to try to make sure that Jay Huff would be in the dunk contest, maybe next year. They'll still be looking for participants.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I can't imagine there's a change.
Absolutely, they will.
So next year can be the Jay Huff special.
Should the NBA just do away with the dunk contest for a couple years?
Put it to rest. And then people will get it, like,
People
because then no
miss
matter
it.
who's in it,
People will miss
you'll
it.
miss it,
Yeah.
and then get excited for it to return. I don't think that's a bad idea. But it is exciting that the Grizzlies have 2 rookies. And it is, again, a spotlight. Like, looking at that list, they both start. Like, those 2 rookies are starting on a Grizzlies team that is 3rd in the Western Conference. And despite everybody losing their damn marbles over the loss to the Knicks at Madison Square Garden on Monday, which was an abysmal loss, it was certainly bad. The trends that continue, it'll all be about the potential bounce back against the Rockets on Thursday. However, you're still 3rd in the West. You still do have long playoff run aspirations / championship aspirations. And you're starting 2 rookies who are both successful enough to be named a part of the Rising Stars Challenge. Very, very cool things for those 2.
Are you asking the chat for chat names?
Oh, I kind of was, because listening to the Call Her Daddy podcast this morning, I'm not a part of the Daddy gang. Like, I don't download, I don't subscribe, but I will listen to occasional episodes when there's someone of interest on it. But the Daddy gang is like such a cool chat name. It's such a cool group podcast name. And I think we need a cool group podcast name.
Okay.
But I don't know what it is.
Okay.
But I see that they're trying. Oh, God.
What? What? Why is that what did you see and why is that your immediate reaction?
I love day one fan and supporter and friend Antoine Harris.
All right.
But the JB Jitterbugs is not it. We can't be the JB Jitterbugs.
You don't be the JB Jitterbug?
No, that's like when I was trying to come up with, as a child, an animal that started with the letter J. Now you're seeing the plight of having a name with the J. There's not that many things for alliteration. That's why it was always the Jaguars. Jaguars.
Okay.
Duval. Did you not see that this week?
No.
The new Jags coach and how he said Duval?
No, I didn't see
should have
it.
sent it for
I
us.
don't.
We missed it
I
again.
think you sent it there and for the NFL stuff, and I just didn't click on it. What?
Do it again. Do it again.
Duval.
What?
It's my favorite part. Look at the eyebrow raise.
Like, why is he saying it like he's trying to like get me out my drawers? Like he's saying it real R&B sexy flexy.
Oh, I would not use sexy flexy as the words to describe that.
I think he was trying to be sexy flexy.
I think it's more like smooth southern hospitality.
I confused it.
Like,
I confused the two.
Welcome to my home.
No, you're saying it like Dracula. There's a difference.
Nosferatu? Are we talking about Nosferatu? It's the eye. Can we just one more time focus on the eyebrows? I cannot take my focus off the eyebrows.
One more
of this
time,
man.
Jacob. Give him a second.
Duval.
So bad. What is worse? Okay.
Duval.
I was thinking about. Okay, doesn't mind why I was thinking about this. It was musical theater related, and none of you need to know this particular.
Give us a backstory, Jessica. Come on.
Yesterday, I was thinking about specific like lines in a song that make me cry or feel emotional immediately. Nicole Scherzinger was on Colbert Show this week, and she sang "As If We Never Said Goodbye" from Sunset Boulevard. And there's this one stretch in the song that immediately upon hitting it, like puts all the feelies in me. And there's only a few lines in history in musical theater songs sung by a specific person that I can like immediately relate to and be like, that's the same feeling that gives me. To link that to what we just saw, Duval sits in the same space as family. And we haven't had that many coach moments where I specifically think about the tone, accent, and delivery. And I think Liam Cohen just joined Brian Kelly in that space in my sports knowledge brain. I will put Duval and family in that same space.
When Effie hits us with the "and I am telling you"
On the key change?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh.
That's in there.
Oh my gosh. Chills thinking about it.
The late, great, oh my God, why am I spacing on his name right now? I can't think of it. It's not
Okay,
coming.
don't make that
Oh my
face.
God.
You know I don't know it.
I know you don't. That's why I
Okay.
can't even say
But
anything.
What happened though?
He sings the first line in Put On Your Sunday Clothes in Hello Dolly, and it's like, out there's a world outside of Yonkers. And when Gavin Creel, R.I.P.
Okay.
My mom's, love of my mom's life, who she never met. That's one of those that sits in that space. There's a lot of key change moments, but Duval will stay in there. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We have a lot to get to. Crazy week in college basketball. Someone puked on a court. We can't be puking on indoor sports courts. We just can't be doing that. Also, NBA trade deadline reportedly, allegedly news. De'Aaron Fox could be open for allegedly a trade, and what that could mean in the trickle-down effect. WNBA free agency remains bonkers. Brittany Griner isn't going to be a Phoenix Mercury anymore for the first time in her career, and we'll also get into.
Can we talk Jerry Jones, please?
Yeah, well, of course. If we're going to talk Duval, we're going to talk glory holes in Jerry Jones.
Yes.
We'll be right back.
Sitting right next to me, am I right? The one and only Jay Huff. Were you comfortable there in your seat?
I'm great. I've been adjusting it, playing around with the height settings.
What are you exactly? 7'1" or 7 even? Or
I say 7'2" because I wear shoes.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Our fans have a huge impact on our ability to play to the level that we're striving for.
Drop off, Durant. Oh! Well, you wanted home crowd involvement.
I love those moments where you see our guys engaging in the fans, and the fans just get pumped up.
They are standing in FedEx Forum.
I would hate to be on the other side with the opposition when FedEx Forum's rolling. That's such an unbelievable relationship that our group has with our fans.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
A night of comedy with Sebastian Maniscalco and Jim Gaffigan.
Now, is this a family? Is this your mother? Where is she? Is she in the crowd? You don't know where your mom is. The mom's up there. What kind of family is this? I'm sorry.
Sebastian Maniscalco and Jim Gaffigan.
I went ziplining for the last time. What is wrong with us? Would you pay $200 to feel like you're about to die 6 times?
Live in Memphis, FedEx Forum, Friday, February 21st. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Who would you be excited to meet?
Don't matter, the greatest coach of all time.
Who is that?
Nick Saban.
And Saban knew who you were.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he knew who I was.
That's amazing.
Saban come on, man. He said, I'm proud of what y'all doing.
And that meant the world to me and Willie. But look, I'm going to tell you.
That meant the world to me.
I bet.
Coming from the greatest coach of all time. Let's go.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
How about them Tigers? Go.
Beat Tulane in a game that nobody called. Nobody thought was going to happen. They were a 2-touchdown underdog, and they got the win.
Number 25 in the AP right now, number 24 in the coaches poll right now. So this is a Tigers football team that's going to end the regular season ranked in both major polls, possibly ranked in the CFP as well, with 10 wins. That's a damn good season.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Doom, doom, doom.
Oh, yeah, 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 Yes, CJ, question. That is a understandable hand gesture. That means you have a question.
The arm is slightly bent. It's
Slightly
not
bent.
going out that way.
No.
And
It's
it's
just a
open.
normal
Fingers are spread. It's just up.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of the names floating about the chat?
No.
The Benson Blues Club, BBC for short.
Will we get sued by the BBC?
I don't think Pornhub is in a position to sue. Think about it. Sit on it.
Sit on it. Sit on it. Shelly!
Mini militia.
Could feel important to have an army in upcoming times.
But here's the issue with midi militia. I feel like it's just
Midi militia.
I feel like it's just me, right? I don't think midis encapsulates
Yeah, 'cause I don't
you
have-
at all.
right.
So like it can't be that. If anything, it's your show. It's your show.
The itty bitty midi committee.
But my middies ain't itty bitty.
It's true.
I got some big old middies.
It's inaccurate.
Yes.
Oh, Christian.
What? What happened? What I missed? What'd he say?
BBC.
Jessica.
I did not come to that conclusion. Oh my God.
Shout out to
my
shout
favorite
out to
part
Chris.
after we just
Wait,
had
how
the-
does he know? Gotta check his VPN now, don't we?
After we just talked about cybersecurity, it pops up as like incoming text on my computer. And just in all caps. Jess! Okay. Woo! We're good.
Speaking of those things, you want to
Sorry.
talk glory holes and Jerry Jones?
Yeah, let's do it. It's
All
a perfect segue into the Brian Schottenheimer introductory press conference that we were not able to get to right after it happened, of course, coming off of the Grizzlies-Knicks loss at Madison Square Garden, and we also had Will Coleman yesterday. But they did introduce Brian Schottenheimer as the new head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, offensive coordinator, getting promoted into the head coaching role. We've now learned that Mike McCarthy, who it looked like could be a candidate for the New Orleans Saints job, he's not going to get that job, so he's pulled himself out of that race before they could say no. And it could be a situation where maybe the Cowboys and Mike McCarthy should have just stayed together for another year. I don't know. Then we wouldn't have gotten the blessing that was the Schottenheimer press conference, in which Jerry Jones talked about getting his proverbial ass kicked about needing people in his comfort zone, said he can operate outside of his comfort zone, and then cited this hire as an example because it's as big of a risk as you can take, called his decision a less than glamorous hire, said that he got here to his position by taking shots. Taking shoddy shots. Oh, you know he was waiting for that one. Also in the presser, Stephen Jones used air quotes to describe the Cowboys' title drought. Said title drought in air quotes, despite the fact that they have not made an NFC championship since 1995, since I was 3 years old. And then in a scrum following the press conference, Jerry Jones had a real quote that was...
Can we let him say it?
Oh, we have it?
Let Jerry say it.
In Jerry's words himself.
I've never heard this phrase.
Go for it.
That is smiles and glory holes.
Jacob, is the volume on? Oh, okay.
We didn't play the bite, did we?
Yeah, we played it. I guess sound was either on or off. I don't know.
I
but what
never
did
know
he say?
because my thing doesn't work anyway
what-
half the time. Okay, well, I'll say it then. Should I do it in the Jerry Jones voice?
Do it in the Jerry Jones, please. Is there any other way to do it?
There's a very low percentage of this that is smiles and glory holes. I'm going to repeat the sentence without the southern drawl because maybe something got lost in translation. There's a very low percentage of this that is smiles and glory holes.
He said that like it was a saying that people say.
You know what my grandpa always said?
I used to go over there and sit on pawpaw's lap.
Percentage of this, that is smiles and glory holes. Very low percentage. There's a
The situations where there's a high percentage of smiles and glory holes. What is the correlation between smiles and glory holes? What does glory hole mean to Jerry Jones?
I think it means what it means to everybody.
Somebody said it probably means something oil related.
No. Google.
There's oil
Google
in these
glory
hills.
holes right now and tell me.
I know what a glory hole is.
Google it and see glory hole and oil and see if something comes up on your work computer after they told you not to be looking up shady stuff on your work computer yesterday.
As I typed the words glory holes and oil, I thought to myself, This is probably not a good idea.
If you do it and type no Diddy at the end of
I'm
it,
gonna
you'll
do
be
it on
fine.
my non-work cell phone.
But if they give
That
you the
could-
stipend, they're still
But I
gonna come
did
and
learn.
take it. And they have your VPN on the network, so they know it's coming from inside the studio. They'll probably blame me for doing it. Let's be honest. I'm the one who seems like they look up the phrase glory hole in oil. Is there an oil field?
An untidy storage place, especially a room or cupboard.
Why would you be smiling at something untidy?
Again, I'm unclear.
Okay, all right.
Do you think that a sign that it might be time to, I don't know, retire is when you use phrases like glory hole in a post-coach hiring press conference?
They should have moved on from Jerry Jones.
Why won't these men go be great?
Like
and by that I mean,
8 or 9
why
years
won't they go
ago.
sit on a beach?
When was
Why
the-
will they not go sit on a beach?
When was the decision to let go of what's our man's name on NBC on their football on Sunday Night Football? Former Cowboys coach kicks it with Maria Taylor. Why am I? Jason Garrett. Whenever Jason Garrett left, they should have been like, hey, not only is Garrett leaving, we're also transitioning from Jerry Jones. And Garrett was there 2 or 3 years too long, so that should happen 2 years before he actually left. Yeah, it's time.
I just between Pete Carroll being the actual real new head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, I just want old men to know your toes in the water, butt in the sand. Feels so good.
Feet at the glory hole if you want to
No,
smile.
cold beer in the hand.
Yeah.
Like Zach Brown Band, they put the gospel out there. You have all the money in the world. If you're Jerry Jones, you literally, you have a submarine. Remember when he did the draft and it looked like he was in a submarine? But you have boats. You have planes.
You're outraged by this, I can tell.
Like, why are you still doing this? Every time he pops up, I think surely this will be the last year that Jerry Jones is giving any sort of commentary on the Dallas Cowboys, because certainly he has stepped down from his role. He will be in hospice, and he will still be
making decisions.
For the Dallas Cowboys. Of that, I am confident.
Yeah.
On the episode of The Pit last night, there's an old man. There's so many stories. There's no spoilers. You cannot spoil The Pit. It is just bam, bam, bam. All these people are coming in all in 1 hour in the emergency room. But like an older gentleman whose kids have to decide if they want to intubate him, or his wishes are that he'll die naturally. Like, he would not want a tube put down his throat. Jerry Jones would be like, put the tube down my throat, but make sure you know that you have to use like some sort of code with me where I'm still making the draft pick on draft day, where I'm still deciding who the next coach is. It's insane.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the college basketball things. The De'Aaron Fox news, it's going to have, reportedly, allegedly, the Kings are open to exploring a trade for De'Aaron Fox before the February 6th trade deadline, which is in a week and a day. And reportedly, allegedly, a preferred destination of De'Aaron Fox could be the San Antonio Spurs. I will say, if the Spurs are looking for somebody to take, Chris Paul on the cheap, I know a place that could use some veteran point guardsmanship. Is that a word? Point guardsmanship?
I don't think so.
I'm just a veteran point guard like Chris Paul and the skills that he brings forward. But we'll continue to follow this story as it develops over the next week and a day. College basketball world, you talked about the Tennessee men's basketball team. The craziest story from college basketball this week, I think, has to be the fact that Kim Caldwell, the head coach of the Tennessee women's basketball team, returned to the sidelines 7 days after having a baby. 7 days after having a baby. She came back for the Tennessee-South Carolina game. Unfortunately, Tennessee lost. She had a baby. She came back. The Vols lost. South Carolina continues to dominate. In the words of Dawn Staley, though, women have the strength of 10 men. Women have the strength of 10 men. She had the baby on January 20th. She returned to practice on January 24th, and she coached a game on January 27th. That is absurd. What did Jacob say? Are you allowed to share? You're laughing. You're giggling. Do I want to know?
If you said his name, so I won't say what he said. I'll have to tell you off air.
Out of respect.
Out of to protect him.
That's nice.
If it was me saying it, I'd just say it because I don't know. I've already said enough today. What's one more thing? That's. Talk about Jerry Jones needing to step away. It's okay to step away from the basketball program for more than 7 days, lady. Ooh,
I'm
boy.
very two sides of the coin with this.
Okay.
One, Total badass move.
Yes.
Like, that is insane. And the fact that she made the decision, and that's what this really comes down to.
She's got
wanted
job
to
security.
Return.
Yeah.
She has job security. She could have taken any of the time that she needed, wanted. She was going to be supported by that athletic department. She wanted to return and coach this team. That is her choice. She is quite literally built different. Could not be me. Could not be me. I will be grasping to every day of maternity leave if and when that day ever comes for our family. And that's my issue, though, is that there are some people who will see this and be like, see? Did you see that Tennessee coach? She came back to work. Just you wait. Just you wait until the removal of maternity leave comes about, and it's like, well, just kind of figure it out, feel it out. Like, there's a reason why those protections are in place. And so I struggle with people who are all in full support, like no holds bar. Like, yes, that is the way. We should all aspire to be like that. No. We can praise her for doing it. It's awesome that she did it, but we should not all be aspiring to return to work 7 days after having a baby.
So many of these conversations, particularly about women's bodies, right, is like, let them decide. You know, if you think you can go back to work, complete and total badass, go get it, lady. If you don't. We shouldn't be forcing you after birthing a child, after bringing life into this world. We shouldn't be forcing you to do anything at that point, right? We shouldn't be forcing you to take time off if you don't want to take time off. We shouldn't be forcing you to go to work if you don't want to work. Like,
thank you.
As the most right person on this show, on these here airwaves, I say let them choose.
As the woman on this show,
I'm pro-choice, baby. I'm pro letting them choose whether or not to go back to work.
On these airwaves, I defer to you.
As well you should.
So just whatever you say, I'll do. But anyway, it was crazy to see her come back for that game.
Wait.
Yes.
I'm pro-choice and pro-life on this one. I'm pro letting them live their lives how they want to. That's how right I am. I'm both.
I'm anti throwing up on a court. Hot take. Jessica Benson says.
What a platform.
She is anti puking on court.
That's incredible.
We're going to do these quickly. These are all the things that happened in college basketball this week. In the Duke-NC State game, a player ran down the court and proceeded to yak. We see this happen in football often, where we're like, oh, did you see that guy? He just puked on the sidelines. Different in basketball because everything has to stop. If you puke on the court, like, cleanup has to occur. The number of towels that they used to clean up the player who vomited, and Jacob is not throwing up the still shot of this player's vomit just coming out of his mouth, which I guess I appreciate the editorial decision, but it is a funny picture of the player just puking mid-game. There we go. It's like a waterfall. It's so gross. that thing, Cooper Flagg's in the back. How many towels do you need to wipe up that amount of vomit? Apparently the limit does not exist. It is an infinite number of towels. So that happened. Conor McGregor popped up at the BYU Baylor game, sat in the BYU student section, led a BYU chant. Why did he wear that to the BYU Baylor game to begin with? This comes after, did you see him like size up Brooke Lopez at the Bucks Jazz game the other night? He's clearly in Utah. That's my takeaway. Everyone's like, where in the world is Conor McGregor? Utah, you idiots. Like, he's been at the Jazz game and he's been at the BYU game. It's not that hard.
Is he Mormon now?
I don't think so.
Has he found?
Not everybody in Utah is Mormon.
Well,
way to
stop it.
stereotype.
Well, listen, if everybody in Utah isn't Mormon, that's fine. But I know that most of the Mormons is in Utah.
That is true. That is the land.
Utah makes Mormons. So everybody might not be, but most of them are there. So I'm assuming if you're there.
Mormons make Mormons.
Well, there's a Mormon factory, isn't it?
No.
Isn't that what their little philosopher or prophet said? Oh, okay.
Stop
I'm sorry.
You obviously haven't watched The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives or The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
But I did watch Big Love.
Different. That's fundamentalism. Anyway, that's beside the point. Conor McGregor, Baylor, BYU. Why? I don't know. There was also the Caleb Love half-court shot in the Arizona-Iowa State game, which was just obnoxious because, say it once, say it again, say it 100 times, foul up 3. Iowa State makes the free throw to go up 3, 71-68. So what are they going to do? Obviously foul on the inbounds, right? That seems like a good idea. 2.2 seconds left in the game, up 3. No, they're going to let Caleb Love fire it up from the A logo, reverse the half court, and he makes it. It was a great shot for Caleb Love. This is when you start getting back into college basketball. I was like, oh, that's right. Caleb Love still at Arizona. That's an interesting thing to track the rest of the year. What a time to be alive. We'll catch up with DeAngelo Williams after a break. I would say I want to know what he would think about someone returning to work 7 days after having a baby, but something tells me I absolutely wouldn't want to know.
What about the fight?
Oh my God! The VCU St. Louis. The most important of all the crazy college basketball happenings. What? This man is straight horizontal, and then he's upside down. His feet are above his head. This happened with a minute 10 left in the game. This fight lasted, the entirety of it lasted 7 minutes. There's some local news station that had a video of the old man, who I believe was the old man, straight horizontal, and had like blood all over his face. We still don't know what caused a fight. Why one would be inclined to fight at a VCU St. Louis game. I didn't know that inspired that kind of behavior.
Man. Be careful in these stands.
Jacob sent this. Also, the background music that Jacob had on his phone. Big Phoebe Bridgers fan. Big Phoebe Bridgers fan. What do you? You're like the fight. What's the word I would use? Like judge, jury.
That's a fight.
You count it.
Yeah, that's a fight. Somebody got hit. People are coming through to try and break them up. It lasts for 6 and 7 minutes. Do you know how? First off, do you know how physically exhausting it is to fight? Like, that is some true exertion. Most people, after about 30 seconds, you're like, okay, I'm done. What am I doing? I'm too old for this. To be that mad for 6 minutes and to constantly be trying to get back at the person, like, no, they really dislike one another. And he's still going. He still wants something. Don't touch him. Don't touch him. Don't touch him. Listen.
What did you do there?
My man in the vest said, "Oh, my bad. I'm not touching you no more. I'm sorry.
I'm out.
I'm out. Don't hit me. I'm not trying to fight." Yeah, that's the actual fight.
All right, DeAngelo Williams. A little late. We'll find out what we'll talk to with DeAngelo about when we come back.
Can't
on
be
this
worse
very sane show today.
Can't be worse than anything we said already.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Anticipate each challenge. Make a quick response. Capitalize on every opportunity. And win. Greatness won't wait. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
It's your turn to drive into luxury at Southland Casino Hotel. Join us on Saturdays to win your share of up to $1 million in free play and prizes. And don't miss the chance to take home luxury itself during the grand finale drawings. Drive off in a 2025 Land Rover on February 1st or a 2025 Range Rover on March 1st. 2 vehicles, 2 finales, 1 million ways to enjoy luxury only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 or up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
Dusty May was at Florida Atlantic last year. Tonight you'll watch him coach at Michigan. So why do I care if a football player decides to leave one place where he's making whatever money to go somewhere where he's making even more? It's what most coaches do every year. So I cannot stand it, and I mean can't stand it, when the coaches sit up there and act like these young people are doing something wrong.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
If I was a high school player, or if, let's say I'm the father of a child who's 16 years old, and Mike Vick comes knocking on my kid's door, and Virginia's there also, and so is Virginia Tech, I'm like, yo, you gotta go where Vick is. You gotta go to Norfolk State. Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning into HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Welcome back to our very put together, very appropriate show. We now bring in DeAngelo Williams, which always keeps us right on track with everything that we try to do in this very serious capital J journalism type show. DeAngelo, how are you this morning?
I'm not doing well at all. I am pissed off at one of my friends, and one of my friends think I'm the selfish one, and I think he's the selfish one.
Ooh.
Okay, so here's the problem that we have. This is the dilemma. So every year when a new phone comes out, he like always upgrade. And I always want to buy his old phone for what he's going to trade it in for. And he always traded in because he was like, man, I don't really want to like go through the process of doing this and go through the process of doing that. I was like, but I'm giving you what they're giving you for it. And it's saving me money, but it's also giving you the money. And he was like, man, it's easier going through them. And I was like, no, it's not. How is it easier going through them? Because I'm sending you the money, and am I asking for too much as a friend? Like,
we had a meeting about this, sort of, DeAngelo, about phones and phone security. And so it might be one of those things where when you get a new phone, they just wipe your phone completely. Yeah. If you're taking the phone up there, like, you're going to buy my phone, let's go up together to the whatever store, let them wipe everything off of my phone, and then you can get it. I think that might be some of what the fear could be.
I think it's simply a matter of, because does this person is it an iPhone?
It is an iPhone.
And they're part of the iPhone upgrade program?
They are, but here's the thing. The iPhone upgrade program, you got to have it for 36 months in order to reap the benefits of that.
Yes.
Well, if I pay for the same phone at $800, because that's what the trade-in value was, I'm getting a great deal because I have like an iPhone 9. I'm trying to get up to where y'all in the double digits. And he was like, I'm trading mine in because there's a new one. I was like, hey, bro, look out for your boy. He was like, man, I ain't got time for that. What the hell you mean you ain't got time for that?
Yeah.
I can send you the $800 and you don't have to work 36 months and get it over time. You can get it right now. I just don't understand the logic behind it.
But I think you have to turn in the phone in order to continue to be a part of the upgrade program.
So they can sell it.
And then, the part of the upgrade program is you're not paying for the phone in its entirety, or at least for me. Like, I pay a monthly amount for the upgrade program that then filters in that if you get to 36 months, you then have paid for that phone. But if you're trading it in the meantime, the whole purpose is that like it's like a continuous loan. So you can trade in the phone at any time.
That's not what he does. This is what he does. He take the $800, and when they finish paying off the $800, then he pay it off in full, whichever it is, because he's like, I've had enough time now to make the money, whether it's through the stock market or through various work or what have you, to earn that money to go ahead and pay that off.
Have you thought about sweetening the deal? Like, if you
sweeten the deal for what?
Like, add in an extra $100.
Hell no, because if that's the case, I might as well just do the upgrade program.
Well, then he might as well just keep doing the upgrade program.
I've never done the upgrade. I hadn't had a contract with a phone company in decades. And that's the reason why I won't do the upgrade, because whenever I get pissed off, like with my phone service, and I'm like, hey, I want to leave, they send me free headphones. They want to like sweeten the deal. Like, nah, don't go anywhere. Like, because I don't have anything to lose. So I like having that leverage where, you know, like I'm gonna name the company. You know, every so often you call DirecTV. No, you're not going anywhere. You complain, you get that bill down for the next 12 months. That's me. I do it all the time.
If Chris, if you're listening, please call Comcast today.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, you get these all of a sudden, like when you're talking about leaving, all these great deals pop up for the next 6 to 12 months.
Yeah, but that's happening less and less. That used to be way more of a thing. I swear. We haven't had the luck that we used to have with that. Yes.
You got to actually leave. Like when I did it like 2015, 2016.
And then to have you come back?
And so I left. And like 3 weeks after I had left, somebody called, was like, hey, we see here you left. Why'd you go? It's like, well, you guys are kind of expensive, dog. I can't really afford it. It's like, hey.
Yeah.
12 months, $80, your package plus premium channels. It's like, okay, I'll come back then. I'm back. And so I went back. But you got to mean it.
Physically
like
leave.
DeAngelo means he will leave. Like
100%,
DeAngelo will
100%.
actually leave. They know you and Chris are playing. Y'all have got to actually say, hey,
well, we
you know
physically
what?
can't leave. Our building only allows one. You know how you live in those buildings where it only has the signal for one of the cable companies?
And you can't put a satellite up there.
So I guess we could leave and be like, oh, we're going to YouTube TV.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, you just got to be serious about it.
To go back to your original point, I think your friend just wants to do what they've always done. And they have a cycle that they're a part of.
Friend. You call this person a friend.
Really close friend. Really close friend.
Really close. Top
and
five?
This is what
like if that friend needed a kidney, you say, okay, I got you.
I got you. Yeah, here's the problem.
It's that friend?
It's that friend. And this is what bothers me about it more than anything. His excuse every time is like, oh, dog, I forgot. So I got on his ass this year before he traded it in, because I put it in my phone calendar. I'm like, oh, I'm going to get him in 2025. As soon as the new phone dropped, I'm like, hey, bro, what's up? And he was like, ooh. And that's let me know he didn't want to do it. So as a friend, I felt like he should have told me, like, hey, bro, I don't really want to go through that. I just want to go through my normal process, because he tell me everything else that I don't want to hear. So what makes it so different about this phone?
I don't know. Some people are just particular. That's all.
Also, I got a cousin like that.
I'm not saying it's right. Like, I'm just saying that person has convinced themselves that that's the way that they want to go about it. And it, for whatever reason in their head, it's more of an inconvenience to do the trade with you. And if somebody sees anything as a slight inconvenience, they're just going to stick with the way that they think is the easiest.
It might be that. It might be the exclusivity of it all, where, hey, I'm the one with the cool ass phone. I don't want anybody like else.
Weird.
With, I got a cousin like that. I got a cousin. He'll put on a fit. Be like, yo, you look good. You smelling good. Jewelry popping. Where'd you get it from? Like, no, I can't tell you that. It's exclusive. What you mean it's exclusive?
What?
Then you might, his logic is, you might like it so much, you buy it, and now we got the same thing, and I don't want you to have the same thing as me. Like, you jerk. What are you talking about? So I think some of that might be the case also. Love him to death. He loves me as well, but he won't tell me, like, oh, I like that shirt. You know how you'll say, thanks, it's a rental, or thanks, I got it from. He'll say, cool, appreciate it. And
he's a gatekeeper.
Yes, so he might be gatekeeping the phone, D.
That's bananas, because it's available to millions of Americans and people around the world. And I'm just like, bro, you don't want to save me the few $400 or $500 that it's gonna save me? And he was just like, man, you know I wouldn't do you like that conversation. You know how your boys, when they trying to talk you off their leg, like, nah, you know it ain't like that, bro. You know, I was kind of on the schedule. Like, how you on the schedule and I got you before you got on the schedule?
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you have to deal with this.
I need more than an apology. I need action. That's what I need. That's what I have to tell my kids.
I don't have actions for you in this one. I do have a question for you that popped up in my scrolling through TikTok this week. This woman popped up, and she's a casting director for The Amazing Race. And she's trying to guide people in like how to I guess, create the best video submission for Amazing Race. Did you have to submit a video for Amazing Race, or did they come to you?
We had to submit a video, but it was crazy because Gary got me on there on false pretenses. We talked about that. It was under something. So when we did this video, I didn't know we was doing the video. It was just me and him having a conversation. And he was like, hey, man, I'm finna record this. And we were just being ourselves. And he sent the video, and I was like, bro, like, I'm pretty sure, like, you recorded me without my knowledge. Like, that's illegal and gotta be somewhere. He was like, nah, we friends. Same friend. Now that you know this.
Okay,
Gary's the one who won't give you the phone?
That's the one. That's the one.
That is on
That's the one.
Host Intuition. I just wondered, because I was going to say, this sounds like one of those like stupid arguments between friends, and this woman said the best way to get onto The Amazing Race is to just somehow figure out a way to highlight how you argue best with the partner that you are trying to submit yourself onto the show with.
Yes, it was Gary. And I spent
There you
30
go.
minutes on the phone with him trying to tell him like his way wasn't easier. I was like, you still got to get your ass in the car. You still have to drive to said location. You ain't got to do all that. I can cash app you the money. You will have the money, and then you can just keep the phone until I come pick it up. So now when you go to said store, you got that $800 right there, and then you just pay the difference right now. And he was like, man, that just sounds like a lot. What?
My biggest thing, this doesn't sound like it's something worth fighting over, DeAngelo. It seems like a waste.
Damn that. It is worth fighting over, DeAngelo. We got to establish a hierarchy. If I'm looking out for you, if I like you enough to give you my kidney, you should like me enough to give me your old phone that you're no longer using.
Yes.
I'm with you, Dan. They don't understand, D. I understand. No, we've got to fight about this.
And not only that, he's one of those that really take care of his phones. Like, he's not one of those that drop it.
So
He
it's
got
good.
like
It's
that.
not cracked.
Oh,
It's ready to
I'm
go.
talking
But
about-
that's the thing, too. So he gets money. I swear to you, he gets money for turning in his current phone that goes towards the purchase of his next phone.
So why doesn't he just,
I get like
why doesn't he
$300
just say
because I
that?
also take, well, I don't really take care of my phone, but I have a nice case and I keep a screen protector on it. So it's in good shape when I turn it in, knock on wood usually. And then they say, okay, we ran your phone through diagnostics. It's worth this. We are taking this amount out of the purchase of your next phone. I don't know. Maybe it's a bunch of word salad and it tricks you into thinking you get a deal. But I really do think that I'm getting money off of my phone by turning the phone in every time.
You see how you tell us that?
Yes.
Gary's not doing that.
Not at all.
And so as grown-ups, we like deals. We understand when you're getting a deal. So if Gary was to come to one of us, DeAngelo, me, whatever, and say, hey, I would love to, but I get a deal on the next phone by trading this one in, we'd be like, oh, okay, cool. I understand. Let me ease up. But he's not willing to say that.
No, he's not.
Okay.
He's not at all. And he's leading me on. It's a horrible relationship in my opinion.
I hate when dudes lead me on, DeAngelo. I don't know about you. I can't stand it.
It's embarrassing.
A bunch of
honestly,
teases.
because
We're going to talk about a dude leading a woman on in the next segment. Are we? Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Why can't I be a part of that segment?
Because it's a long, winding tale of two people from The Bachelor who broke up, and you don't need to worry yourself with that.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
Yeah.
That sounds horrible.
That's why.
Like to be led on national TV. Oh, that's
No,
awful.
even worse,
this was
to be
like
led
from
on national
2020.
TV, to get together, and then to be led on in a relationship for like 4 years.
Well, now hold up. Now, if they both gained something from this, then it wasn't being led on; it was just being led off.
How so?
Because if she gained, so this is the whole. I have this theory about like gold diggers. If you're 55 and your girlfriend is 21 and she's looking for money and he's looking for a young girl, y'all both win. It doesn't matter what you seek. You got what you wanted.
I actually don't
It doesn't
disagree.
matter how you categorize it.
I think in today's like social media climate and pop culture climate and like real people becoming celebrities because of social media and whatnot, like anytime you put things out in public, so a relationship, you're both gaining an audience and you're gaining your brand, and then you ultimately are able to turn even bad things that happen to you into currency, which I think is a bizarre piece of our world right now. Like, sure, you go through a breakup, it's really sad, but then you utilize like the weaponization of people feeling bad for you to turn into clicks and sponsorships and more followers, and then you're fine.
Yeah. I also found out that like people on social media don't like normal people. If you're a normal person, nobody likes you. You don't have the millions of followers because people want to know that you're different from them in whatever category you're different from them. Like if I can't cook, I'm going to go find somebody that can cook because they're different. But now that cook that's cooking has to be more than just the cook. She has to have he has to have like a lot of followers. They have to have something that's completely different from me because I'm not going to follow somebody that's on the same path or the same person that I am. Because if that's the case, I can just look myself in the damn mirror and inspire myself.
I like that. DeAngelo, thank you for inspiring us. I hope you and Gary make up, and best of luck in this phone endeavor.
Hey, I'm calling him when I get off here to reiterate, like, hey, bro, you really hurt me, bro. You really hurt me.
I think that's good. Expressing your feelings. That's a positive way.
It's even worse because my screen cracked 2 days ago, and
you need the phone.
I cut my finger. I need a new phone, and I cut my finger.
Oh, I hate cutting your finger on the screen glass. It is the worst.
And like now I got this, like I'm apprehensive about like sliding now. So
yeah, because you never know when you're gonna hit it. You never know when you're gonna get just a little shard in the finger. Stuff. All right. See you next time, DeAngelo.
All right.
Bye.
BBC.
I think we have to be the BBC now.
The Benson Blues Brigade?
The British Broadcasting
Benson Blues Crew, I think is what it was.
The Benson Blues Crew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just be like, hey, so you start your day with a good morning to the BBC. Hey, all you BBCers out there.
What if the BBC comes after us? And I'm not clarifying which BBC.
I
can only wear blue?
You can only wear blue because you got to lean in. You got to lean in.
Well, the Grizzlies, one of their colors is blue,
yes.
so that works.
So that works.
Okay. No.
So you come on the screen after we do the 2-minute shenanigans, and it's, hey, good morning.
What if
Jessica Benson here? It's blah 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 day.
Wait,
it's going to be a good day.
Stop. What if the chat was the Luthers?
That's it. Mic drop.
I actually think it's kind of good.
Luthers. I like the Luthers. The Luthers. The Luthers
I'm
is
not
good.
a Luther.
The Luthers,
Let me be
but
clear.
the followers are Luthers.
The followers are the Luthers.
The followers are Luthers. That's
and
what
maybe
it is.
that makes my husband happy enough that he'll stop stressing on me changing my last name. If I just say, look, I have a whole chat that goes by your last name.
Luthers, yes.
The Luthers.
The Lutherans, but the Luthers.
Yes.
Yes. Here we go. There it is.
All right, we have some great story times coming up. I don't know if I can do the one. I don't know if I can do.
Read the options off for the people,
options.
Jessica.
And if you're joining us, live or not live, please press the like button. Help us get off into the algorithm.
Help us do what? Come on, man.
You can't do anything on this show today.
Because
if you're joining us live, vote on the chat question of the day, which is on Wednesdays, voting for the story time. The options are in-laws hate my eyes, pay for your own wedding, rude ass, no way the fart fetish gets approved, and husband prefers his wives dead. I sent husbands prefer his wives dead. It's a great story. I might executive decision it. I might read the other one. You'll find out when we come back. I did. I read it as DeAngelo. Honestly, DeAngelo was talking about the phone thing. I was like, just go make up with your friend. It's not that hard. Oh, a timer.
Our fans have a huge impact on our ability to play to the level that we're striving for.
Drop off, Morant. Oh! Well, you wanted home crowd involvement.
I love those moments where you see our guys engaging in the fans, and the fans just get pumped up.
They are standing in FedEx Forum.
I would hate to be on the other side with the opposition when FedEx Forum's rolling. That's such an unbelievable relationship that our group has with our fans.
At the National Civil Rights Museum, history moves us forward. The question remains, how does history move you?
Keep on talking, marching up to freedom now.
Shinedown.
Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
So these are a pair of Kobe 11 Elite Low. These were part of a collaboration with FC Barcelona.
I've never seen these in person. The detail on these are amazing.
It's Flyknit, like, you know, the front of the shoe is Flyknit. It's got the lunar line, I remember, and the insole
is removable.
Yeah. The Sneak Fest show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app. Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
This team is doing everything that Taylor Jenkins and his coaching staff envisioned it could do.
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
This is another JBS production.
Twinkle, twinkle, rockabye. It's story time. Let's let it fly. The JB Show with CJ here to bring you tales that bring you cheer or fear or tears, whatever's here. Now hush, you babies, listen up. It's story time. Let's get turned up. Surprise, we're doing two stories. Number one. Am I the a-hole for breaking up with my girlfriend for getting drunk and telling our friends about my fetish?
We're actually gonna do.
I
didn't think this one would get through.
It passed.
All right.
It passed.
All right.
The smell test.
Oh, come on.
Using a throwaway for obvious reasons, me, my 29-year-old male, and my girlfriend, 35-year-old female, had been together for about 8 months. We have certainly had our ups and downs, but for the most part, it was a good relationship. Most of the downs being when she has struggles with her mental health. She was in contention for a major promotion at work. She was very worked up about it until she told me someone slipped to her that she was going to get it. She was so excited. I've never seen her so happy. It was great.
I know how this story's finna take a turn. What a jerk thing to do. You can't. You gotta wait for it to be announced. You can't go to somebody and be like, hey, you're gonna get that big promotion, because anything could happen.
I just watched a TV show where this happened, and it's just like devastating.
Yeah, like you can't do that. Just keep your mouth shut.
We agreed to meet our friends at our favorite bar after work the day she was expecting to be officially offered her promotion. When I met her outside the bar, I could instantly tell something was wrong. She said she didn't get the promotion. Someone else did. A woman that she despises. Even worse.
Your nemesis?
Women support women. Women steal jobs. Someone else did. A woman that she despises. It was really disappointing. I offered for us to just go home, but she insisted we hang out with our friends. She wanted to get drunk. Appropriately so. And she did. She was barely even talking at first, just drinking. It was obvious to our friends something was wrong. Me and her started arguing at some point. It started over the wings me and her got. She was complaining she didn't like them and how I didn't care what she wanted and didn't listen to her and all of that. Sounds like a spiral.
You gotta know at that point.
She's crashing out.
Yes. And she's, whatever you do, you're in trouble.
Yes.
So, step away. If you can't get her to step away with you, you just need to go.
Yes.
All right.
Eventually.
Also, wait, what's the complaint about wings? Have you ever had somebody order wings and been like, no?
No, even bad wings, I'll say,
wings.
Oh, it's still a wing.
It's wings. Tell me the flavor you want and we're going to get the flavor you want.
We need to talk about wings.
Okay.
Put a pin in it.
All right.
Eventually, it struck a nerve, and I told her she was drunk and acting like an ass, and she needed to go home. She got so pissed. You can't tell she's an ass. She lost the job today. You have to somehow politely find a way to. If you're in a relationship, it is your duty as the partner to save the person from further drinking and embarrassment, but to also get them home. She got so pissed, she told all 5 of our friends about my fetish.
Okay, that's not cool.
I don't want to say exactly what she said.
This is probably a normal fetish.
I have a fart fetish.
No, that's not normal.
I said it as fast as I could.
You can't tell the people that.
And she mocked me about it in front of everyone.
No. Wait, what does that look like? Like, is she like bent over?
I don't know. We don't have to get into it. That was not part of the agreement of doing this story time.
I didn't know we had an agreement.
It was a in my head agreement, and I forgot to verbalize it to you. That's on me. It's embarrassing. I'm only mentioning this so people can understand how embarrassed I was, but it is what it is. I'm obviously insecure about it, and now all of our friends know. How am I supposed to hang out with any of them again? You don't. You move countries. You change your name. You join witness protection program. I'm sorry. I don't think that you can come back from this one.
That's no longer your friend group. You've got to find another friend group.
The next morning, I broke up with her. She cried, begged, said she didn't remember anything from last night. It was hard, but I held my ground. Now I don't know. Maybe I overreacted. Am I the a-hole for breaking up with her after she was having a really bad day, a night she can't even remember, apparently? Unfortunately, in 99% of situations, yes, you would be the a-hole for breaking up with her after a night that she was devastated on, got too drunk. It happens. However, the humiliation that involves, I am not here to kink shame anyone.
No.
But that's one thing you just gonna keep to yourself.
Got to.
And once someone knows, I can't look you in the eye again.
I'd be afraid I get pink eye.
I'd be afraid I'd make a joke about getting pink eye. And that's not fair to you or me. So, as I said, witness protection immediately. Move countries. You're gonna learn a new
leave
language.
that town at the least.
At the very least, you have to leave
you got
town.
to go 2 towns over.
And you need to lock your socials.
Delete your socials and start over again.
I guess. Start a new account. You're the new person in town. It might have like slight serial killer energy, but really, you just have to explain to people you have a dark past that you're trying to escape. And they don't need to know. You can be dark and mysterious.
They don't need to know your pink eye, Paul.
No. You move. Sorry. The end. You're not the a-hole. You gotta do what's right for you in this situation.
Absolutely. And find you a new lady. I'm sure somebody who will keep your fetish to themselves.
Speaking of a new lady.
Let's go.
Part 2. Am I the a-hole for being mad at my husband for saying he would pick his deceased wife over me? My 34-year-old husband, 37-year-old male, I'm a 34-year-old female, husband, 37-year-old male, was married once before me. She was his high school sweetheart. They started dating their junior year, survived long distance during college, got married when they were both 23, very shortly after graduating college. She passed away unexpectedly at age 26 from an aneurysm, and it obviously devastated him, especially because they were extremely young. They never had children. Pause. That's horrific.
That's terrible.
Aneurysms, terrifying. Young death, young love. Very sad.
We were talking about Archer yesterday. Mm-hmm. One of his top 3 fears.
An aneurysm?
Yeah. Alligators are the next one. Yeah.
It's in my at least top 10.
Okay.
Top 10 fear. He contemplated remarrying because he was so heartbroken, but we ended up meeting about 4 years after that. We got married when I was 31 and he was 34. We have 2 children.
Okay.
Last night, we were at a friend potluck gathering. Everything was going well until one of our friends brought up a new topic that had to do with relationships. She is newly divorced, so it was about her divorce. Others were chiming in with past relationships from high school, college, etc. I had said I never thought I would get married because my luck with men has always been terrible until I met my husband, and I said I felt very lucky to have met him.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Very sweet.
That's sweet.
After a little while longer, my husband brings up his deceased wife. Everyone knows he was married before me and that she passed. He was talking about her and then drops a bomb and goes, "If she walked through that front door right now, I'd pick up where we left off."
Turn up. Love the honesty.
If I'm being honest, it felt like someone put my heart into a blender and punched me in the gut as hard as they could. Everyone in the room could sense the awkwardness that followed. To avoid making a scene, I just laughed it off, even though I think it was still obvious that it hurt me. I just felt that if you still feel that way, then why are we married? I've never asked him to get over his wife. I've never had a deceased spouse or even a deceased partner, so I'm unsure how that feels, but I would never say that in front of my new spouse. After the gathering, we left, and I did not speak to him the entire car ride home, or barely the entire night. I did tell him that what he said hurt my feelings deeply, and that we could talk about it in the morning once I've calmed down, because I didn't want to say something mean to him. I ended up sleeping on the couch because he would not leave me alone. It's now the next morning. I barely slept. He is still sleeping. I'm not sure what to say or what he will say.
Not only are you the a-hole, you're completely in the wrong here. Dead lady's not walking through the door. He may as well have said, "Yo, check this out. If give me a sexy lady right now." I don't know who you Beyonce. If Beyonce walked through that door right now, I'd leave you for her in a heartbeat. Yeah. But she's not walking through that door right now. He has no chance of that happening. What are you talking about? Stop it.
It's different because he's never been with Beyonce. He has never been in love, really, with Beyonce. I think this is the kind of thing where even if you think it, and having spoken to people who have lost partners and then by some wonder found love again, there are just things that you don't say about your deceased partner to your new partner. That is one of them.
No,
because now that woman is always going to feel like she comes second to an angel.
Well, yeah,
to a ghost.
It's an effing angel. It's an effing ghost.
What are kids together?
So. You
Miss Kim is right. They need couples therapy.
No, they don't.
Yes,
she
they
needs
do.
to stop being a crybaby. Get out of here. This man lost the love of his life and by the strangest amount of luck stumbled across you.
Yeah, but you don't say it to other people. You don't say it in a group of people. Like, well, we all know, like, I love this wife, but the wife I really loved, if she came back.
No, we don't. We men, Jacob. We don't need therapy.
And then I'd go, yeah, everyone needs therapy.
No, not in this situation.
Absolutely.
She might need some therapy. She might be a little too self-conscious.
No,
but everybody else is
if
fine.
If any single person needs therapy in this, he needs therapy.
For
but
what?
I would suggest that they go together.
For what?
For saying that to the woman that he fell in love with and has children with and is his current on this earth partner. Yes. You cannot bring up the dead wife in that situation. I think it's so inappropriate and so like the feeling that would be in front of people that I presume they're friends with,
right.
Like have just like the guy you can never look in the face because you found out he has a fart fetish. Yeah, we're tying these together. You'll never look at that couple without thinking somewhere in the back of your brain like, oh, remember that time he let it slip that he actually would still prefer to be with his first wife?
I'd be like, oh yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Y'all left. She died abruptly. Y'all were on really, really good terms.
You're crazy.
That makes sense to me. I don't know what more she wants from this man. He's with her now. There's not a woman on this planet. She should feel special. She should feel honored. She should feel dignified that there's not a woman on this planet that he would rather be with than her. But there's one in the heavens. So like take the win. Take the win. Come on, man.
I think she's appropriately hurt.
Then when you pass away, you can go up to the heavens and you can pull you a celebrity maybe. I don't know if we're dating up in heaven.
He can think it. You just can't say it. That's one of those things you just cannot say.
Whoa. Alexandra Smith in the chat telling me to go smell farts. I will do no such thing. I will only search for the fart fetishes. I will not smell them myself, madam.
All right. We have important measures to get into. This will take the rest of the show.
Cool.
I do the work so that you, our mostly male audience, with my few lady viewers who I love.
Get the women.
I adore you. I love every viewer equally.
I don't.
But the 3% of women I really love.
We got to get that number up. Men, go log out of your YouTube right now, log into your wives, and have her come sit down and watch this. Your wife, your daughter, your aunt, your grandmother, a cousin,
Gotta
whatever.
Figure out how to get the women.
Gotta get these women in. Good grief.
Anyway, this is the story of the girls, the story of the gals of the week, of the last 2 weeks, honestly. CJ, I want you to give the perspective because you watched 2 seasons of The Bachelor in your entire life. One of them, and I believe the first season that you ever watched, was the Matt James season of The Bachelor.
Correct.
The first black bachelor that we ever had.
And he was blackish, but yes.
And it was right after COVID.
Yes. It was during COVID.
Technically during COVID.
Yeah, it was 2020.
In the throes of COVID.
In the throes of it.
What do you remember from Matt James's season?
I remember a chick popping out of the limousine on the first meet with her friendly little toy, and she ended up getting the next season, and so I watched that also. I remember there was just an out of control, like over the top character who during the reunion, everybody said, no, she wasn't that bad. You, the new Bachelorette, you were pretty bad though. I remember that the chick that Matt chose ended up doing something probably racist, like was right there just over the line of, hey, you can't be doing that. And so Matt fake broke up with her in public, but they were still together in private. And then they pop out together. It's like, no, we're still a couple. We're still a thing. It's been enough time. The story has died down. Everybody's forgotten about it. And I remember Matt had a square ass head. That's the other thing I remembered. Like a super rectangular head. And that was it.
And he played football at Wake Forest. This is where the air quotes are actually
football.
appropriate. Played football at Wake Forest.
Yeah.
You are correct. So Rachael Kirkconnell was the person that he was most in love with on that show. And then a photo comes out of Rachael Kirkconnell attending an old antebellum South party wearing like a plantation woman-styled dress. This leads to Chris Harrison, the one-time, long-time host, the first host of The Bachelor.
Yeah, what happened with him again? Didn't he get in trouble too?
Well, he got into it in trying to defend Rachael
Gotcha.
Kirkconnell with one of the former Bachelor contestants, Rachel, who is black, and they were on an episode of Extra, and they went at it, and then it ultimately led to Chris Harrison stepping down from The Bachelor, leaving the Bachelor franchise. It was this big like watershed moment in Bachelor history. Meanwhile, Matt and Rachel technically break up on the show, but then they get together afterwards and ultimately have been together for the last 4 years. And I can't remember exactly when it happened, but maybe like a year ago, 2 years ago, I'm scrolling through TikTok and Matt and Rachel pop up on my feed and I'm like, oh, they're still together, because I tapped out. I think that was my last full season of The Bachelor that I ever watched. I was like, I've watched
Didn't
the
do
show
the
for a
Golden
long
Bachelor?
time. I watched a half of the season of The Golden Bachelor. I was curious about it, but it just, for whatever reason, I left that reality show viewing world behind, following everything that happened with The Bachelor. It was just like, why am I wasting so much time on this? And the episodes were so long, and there was always so many additional episodes with the women tell all or the men tell all and the after episodes. And all that said, I didn't know that they were still a couple until they popped up on my timeline. And then I did some digging and I was like, oh, they got back together after the show. They have tried to distance themselves from the experience with The Bachelor. Matt clearly felt like he was in a position where like he shouldn't pick Rachel given everything that was in circulating, the old racist photos that came out of her past. And at that specific point in time too, like that was the big, everyone was making their profile pictures black squares on Instagram. I don't remember if you remember when we solved racism by people posting a black square on their Instagram to stand in solidarity.
Y'all only shut the hell up for one day.
Just one.
Just one day, and then got right back to talking.
Then we put end racism in end zones in football games.
It's still there.
That was thank God. It's been solved. Anyway, they're together. They have a very fun relationship portrayal on social media. They are constantly reviewing food. Like that's their big thing. I would always see them at a restaurant. And so they turned into like food influencers, but also, you know, using the platform of The Bachelor. People knew who they were. People were rooting for them. And they seemed to have an awesome relationship, like super in love. And I remember thinking like, oh, good for them. We didn't get a whole lot of success stories from The Bachelor universe, but they seem genuinely happy. Every time they pop up on my timeline, I'm convinced that they are in a good relationship.
Yeah.
Instagram is not reality.
No, stop
This
it.
is the greatest example of Instagram is not reality that I've had in a minute. 2 weeks ago, randomly, Matt James pops up. I saw this organically on my recommended feed. I think it came from like E! News or something. But Matt James posts on Instagram that he and Rachel have broken up. And he uses a photo from their time on The Bachelor together, which is really weird because they really tried to distance themselves from their time on The Bachelor. He posts this photo with the caption, "Father God, give Rachel and I strength to mend our broken hearts. Give us a peace about this decision to end our relationship that transcends worldly understanding. Shower our friends and family with kindness and love to comfort us and remind us that our joy comes from you, Lord." Broken heart emoji. I see this and I'm like, this man got hacked or this is a joke. I really thought they seem to have such a good sense of humor. My first thought was this is a joke post and they're going to announce their engagement. Like we're broken up from this phase of our relationship and we're finally, and there's always been the rumblings of like, when are they gonna get engaged? Again, I don't follow these people religiously, but they pop up enough and people talking about them pop up that I've like followed where they're at in their relationship. So I see this post and I'm like, oh, that's a funny joke. It must be a joke. Then people are like, he must have been hacked because it's still up there and there's no update. And they had just had these videos from a trip to London. It appeared that they were in London together that week. Come to find out, those are old videos, but they were in Tokyo together leading up to that post. We haven't heard the full story until last night. Rachael Kirkconnell goes on the Call Her Daddy podcast with Alex Cooper because naturally we live in a world where you go through a surprising, devastating breakup and you think, I got to get on a podcast to get the story out. Content time.
You know it.
I'm not knocking it. I'm just explaining the situation.
You know it. I know it. The Luthers in the chat know it. Everybody knows that's what you do. You make content out of your life. Let's go.
And that is the world that they live in, so it makes sense. And I was surprised to find myself wanting to stay up last night to listen to the Call Her Daddy podcast. I was like, you are not staying up to listen to a 2-hour breakup podcast. But I did listen to it first thing when I woke up this morning, and we did get the full story. So come to find out, Rachael was just as surprised as we were to see that photo pop up on Matt James' Instagram. Not because he didn't break up with her in person, he did, but it had happened just hours before he posted that picture. They were in Japan. They had broken up. She went to the airport to fly home by herself, and as she is boarding her flight, she gets a text from a friend that was like, Rach? And that's how she finds out that Matt James posted that they had broken up. She hadn't told her friends, hadn't told her family. She's devastated. She's gathering it herself. She did not see it coming. Like days before, they had been speaking about engagement and the future of their relationship and how great their relationship was. They end up getting in a fight after they went to some restaurant, and she was emotional about it because, again, food content creators, the restaurant they were supposed to go to didn't work out. She had to find a backup restaurant. She didn't think it was very good. She puts a lot of pressure on herself finding good restaurants for them to go to. Just sounds like she had a moment. I guess he thought she got too emotional, and then that led to a conversation the next day.
Him making an emotional decision?
Of him being like, actually, I think you get too emotional often, and this is a quality that is one of the reasons that makes me struggle to see me proposing to you and taking that next step with you. And she was like, well, do you ever see us taking that step? And again, they've talked about engagement. They've talked about having kids. They've talked about getting married. And he was like, well, I can't do it right now. And she was like, well, we've been together for 4 years. If you can't figure out that, we're at least going to get married definitively someday, what are we doing here? They break up. He posts it on social media. Like, what a goober move by Matt James to hours after the breakup, knowing that this woman is about to get on a 12-hour flight back to the United States of America from Tokyo. And he knows, she explains it on the podcast, she doesn't get Wi-Fi on flights. Because of the VPN on her phone, she has trouble connecting to in-flight Wi-Fi. So she's going to get on a plane, sit for 12 hours in her thoughts, feelings, whatever, can't contact anyone. He posts that on social media, and she's stuck flying away.
You know why you do that? Miss Kim has hit the nail on the head.
Why?
You got something lined up, and you need to get rid of this one to get to the other one. That's why. I never changed my Facebook statuses because it didn't matter to me, right? So if it said in a relationship, it's because the girlfriend I had was, hey, we're in a relationship. You need to hit this button on Facebook. Okay, cool. When we broke up, wouldn't matter until a new chick would come in, and you know how you guys do. You start investigating and stuff. And you don't have to look that hard. You hopped on Facebook because that's where everybody was at the time. You say, CJ, says you're in a relationship. It's like, let me fix that real quick so we can continue to do what we need to do. So you need to break up immediately so you can get the new joint over.
Interesting.
Even though he's in, makes me wonder, is he Ludacris and Nate Dogg in it? Does he have women in different area codes?
She specifically said this was not an issue of infidelity.
No, it doesn't.
So to her knowledge, he did not cheat on her. But I see what you're saying.
He very well may not have cheated, but there's something waiting in the wings.
There are certainly so many red flags. When she's talking, she's very gracious about their relationship. She's not scorched earth mode trying to say this was the worst person ever. She's clearly still trying to sift through the feelings of the bombshell of getting broken up with someone that she had planned to spend the rest of her life with.
In a foreign country also.
And even worse, okay, I think we overuse the phrase narcissist way too much. We've made everyone a narcissist. We make everyone a gaslighter. But based on the stories that she was saying, she specifically pointed out Tokyo is her favorite place in the world, her favorite city in the world to go to. So she was so excited to be going on this trip to Tokyo with Matt. And that's where he chooses to break up with her. Someone that you've now been with for 4 years.
He knows this.
He knows that. That's the thing. He wouldn't not know this. He knows that this is a place that she holds a lot of love for. And he has now ruined that place for her for the rest of her life.
She better find another place of love.
Luckily, there's a lot of different wonderful places. But
I have a friend of a friend who his lady took him and his kids to Disney World, and he knew before they left he was going to break up with her on the way back. And on the way back broke up with her.
She had no idea. Like, listening to her, sometimes you're like, okay, well, these people are just creating content and talking for content's sake. Like, she cries multiple times during the podcast. She's still in her feelings about it. Like, really felt as if she was with the person that she was eventually going to marry. They had those. It's not like there had been an avoidance of those conversations. Like, they had factual conversations. When we get engaged, when we get married, when we have kids. They didn't live together, which is interesting. She cited because he's very religious. So he had a condo in Miami. They had a house in Georgia. But she said, like, their house in Georgia was there, even though they didn't live together, all their stuff was there. His stuff, a good portion of his stuff still remains at that house in Georgia for now. They have talked, and he admitted that dropping the Instagram post was not the right move. No, duh.
It was the right move for somebody.
I'm so sorry that I did this to you in the middle.
What's he supposed to do in that situation? Whatever happens, right?
You're famous enough that you have to strategize.
Straw that breaks the camel's back is that moment. For whatever reason, I'm not sure what popped off. Don't know anything about the relationship before that. But whatever it is, that is the moment where he's, all right, I got to get out of this.
Like, saw an opening. That's how I listened to it. I was like, this man saw an opening, took that fight from the restaurant, carried it over to the next day, utilized it to bring up some very weird things to be concerned about with someone that you apparently love and have been in a long-standing relationship with.
So what is he supposed to do? Right, so
you just break up and you don't say anything.
So you can still break up.
I think you have to create a joint statement.
You can break up, say when you get to where you're going.
I mean, I would prefer for them to break up back at home, not in her favorite place in the world.
So we're back from the trip, fresh off of your trip to the favorite place in the world. We're in the hotel, in the house. I don't know. We're on the way from the airport in the Uber. We're like, hey, this isn't working anymore. We got to break up. Let's find a way to do a joint statement. So that's the way to do it. Wait till you get back from the trip.
I do think they're famous enough that you have to do a joint statement. Okay. You can't do what he did because it provided so much room for speculation. First of like the denial, like surely this cannot be coming from this dude and this can't be how it is. And then it turned into was he cheating on her? What's going on? Her sister was liking some comments on social media and I think her sister at one point commented in a thread somewhere like she was completely surprised by that. So you eventually got that nugget from a family member, but then all the connecting of dots. And Rachael herself said, she's like, if Matt hadn't posted on Instagram, I'm probably not sitting on the Call Her Daddy podcast right now because there wouldn't have been like that impetus that sent this into this level of pop culture attention. But she was, and I think she has a lot of people rooting for her.
Because we don't know the whole story.
We don't know the whole story. We only got hers. We've seen how it all played out over time too. Yeah. It was just it's wild who becomes famous. That's what I was sitting there thinking about. Like, it is just so crazy that this girl who made a mistake as a younger person, and there are many people who, we all make mistakes constantly, but had that old photo show up from the antebellum party, had to answer, had to apologize for that, ends up being with the man on the show who goes on a show to find love anyway. That's a whole other piece of this puzzle. And then they end up together, and then he blindsides her with a breakup, and now she's like the sweetheart character. We always love to find a woman who gets broken up with to cheer on, and she's the first version of that of 2025. And if you had told me in like 2021 when they were first on The Bachelor that she would be the main character of this sphere in 2025, that would have made no sense whatsoever. But here we are. That's how this weirdo content world works.
Do you have a bad, like, not prolonged breakup story, but just an odd breakup? Like, how did you decide to why would you do that here now? Other than when you broke old boy's heart to get with Chris.
I mean, that's my biggest. Okay. Yeah. I was a big ghoster. I'm not proud of it. I just wasn't very good with confrontation.
Just got to do it.
Yeah, I know.
You'll figure
Looking
it out.
back on it, could have been better. Do you have one?
No, I didn't. How can I phrase this? I didn't date a lot. I didn't have a lot of girlfriends. And so the breakups for me were always like, okay, we're not. You and I aren't exclusive, so I'm just gonna call up this other one. So the girlfriend I had, the long time girlfriend, we had broke up, but we were still doing that like thing where you kind of hang out still and all that stuff, getting the freedom of being single and the comfort of a relationship.
A longer-term relationship.
And so it all came to a head. We're talking after a movie date. She's like, yo, as I remember it, I'm not saying it's never going to be a yes, but I am saying it's always going to be a no. It's like, mother bleeper, that's what are you talking about here? That's a no. What are we doing?
So weird.
But while she's having this conversation with me, I think I'm telling her, like, yo, who you texting? I'm texting my mama. And I'm texting 2 or 3 other ones. And it's like, okay, which one is going to let me come over right now? And so drop her off, say farewell into that relationship, and immediately hopped in the car and went to another chick. So that's usually how. But if we were in Japan, where I'm assuming I don't have another chick to lean on, like that would make it a bit tougher. Right? Nothing like finding comfort in another person's embrace after a breakup. Like that was my jam.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
But that comfort is never very deep.
From
my personal experience.
Who needs it to be? Well,
you don't. But honestly,
it's deep when I get there. It is.
So glad we could end the show on that, given everything that we have, the wild ride that we have gone through today. Anyway, shout out to Alex Cooper. I don't listen to Call Her Daddy often. I am not a member of the Daddy Gang.
It's almost at 1 million now.
She is a fantastic interviewer. Like the way that you don't even get to the breakup until an hour into that podcast. If you are interested in going back and listening, it's like all set up for an hour. But the way it takes you through the journey and then like perfectly sets you up to feel something deeply when you find out about how the breakup goes off, I was like, this is a masterclass in storytelling, interviewing style. Because the obvious thing would be like, girl you just got broken up with, like, let's start there. But she doesn't do that. And I applaud that. There is a reason why she gets paid hundreds of millions of dollars from Spotify. I can't wait for us and the Luthers to get paid hundreds of millions of dollars from Spotify or the BBC or the BCH. We'll continue to figure out the name of our fandom.
It's the Luthers.
Or the Juicies.
No, it's the Luthers. We've established it.
You just gave me the Luthers.
Yeah, the Luthers, they're coming to get us.
All right. Everyone will see you tomorrow. It's a huge game day tomorrow. Grizzlies, Rockets. It'll be an exciting day all day. Leading up to that, Teresa Walker will join us. We'll catch up with her. It'll be a good Thursday because it'll almost be Friday. And if you make it through Wednesday, you can make it through the week.
Oh, I thought we avoided
We'll see you tomorrow.
that.
Bye.
I thought we avoided that dumb
The JB jury's good too.